I'm starting to feel like the catcher off of the Sandlot. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Wemby. You can't drive. You can't post up. You can't shoot. And on top of that, you don't know what you're doing. And this was the guy that y'all said was the best prospect or better than LeBron James? Come on, man. I'm about to crucify this man. I'm giving you your disclaimer, your warning at the beginning of this video. I'm about to crucify Victor Wembanyama. What in the SHIT crap was that last night? Whoa. Hold on. I'm getting a little too far ahead of myself. Before we go any farther, before Timothy and these chumps run to the comment section, let me say this real quickly. I already see you, Timothy. You run to the comment section. Matt, it's his first game in America. Matt, it's a summer league game. It doesn't matter, blah, 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 blah. I already know what you're about to say, and I agree to a certain extent. I understand that completely. I'm not going to sit up here after one summer league game and go, oh yeah, this dude's a buzz. No, I'm not going to do that. But however, what I am going to do is I'm going to analyze and evaluate his first performance that I saw with my 2 eyes. And I'm going to be harsh and critical on him because I want to offer y'all this perspective to all the people that are going to run to the comments. I know you're going to do it even though I said not to. To all those people running right now to the comments, Matt, it's his first game, you're freaking out, blah, 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 blah. Those are the same people that would have been glazing the dude and D-riding him if he dropped 40 points, 20 rebounds, and 10 assists. No, so shut the crap up. F all that. Keep all that same energy. They were saying this dude was a better prospect than LeBron James. And what did I tell you guys weeks ago? That's ludicrous. LeBron James was 2 times the prospect this kid was. I don't ever, let me repeat this, I don't ever want to see anybody compare Victor Wembanyama to LeBron James ever again. I don't care what the circumstance is. Until this dude can back somebody down in the post and walk in a straight line without falling, don't even bring him and LeBron up in the same conversation. Calm down, Matt. Calm down. It's not good to scream. And I really didn't want to come up here and scream, but it is what it is. Sometimes it happens. I have so much to say about last night's game, so buckle up, strap in, because we're just getting straight into it. We're not doing no intro, none of that. If you like the content, consider joining our community. We'd love to have you here. If you don't like it, okay, whatever. Don't subscribe. It is what it is. Look, man, I'm going to keep it a Fortnite V-Buck with you guys. To say I was underwhelmed with last night's game by Victor Wembanyama, that would be a heavy understatement. And I can't even believe I'm saying I'm underwhelmed because I didn't have any expectations because I've never seen this dude play a day in my life. I'm not underwhelmed with him going 2 for 13. I don't care about that. Throw that out the window. Most people are just going to look at his stats. I watched his game and it was bad. If I had to grade Wemby's performance last night, I'm giving him a D-. F is the worst and D- is the second worst you can have. And the only reason I'm not going to give him an F is because he did have a couple of blocks and he did have an and-1-3, so I'll give him that. I give him a D- because, like I said, that's the first time I've seen him play, so heck, maybe he can be worse. As a matter of fact, before we go any farther, let me pull up the stats. Not that they really even matter, because they don't. I'm not even going to talk about them, but it gives you some context. Okay, got it pulled up right here. 9 points, 8 rebounds, 5 blocks, 3 assists, 2 for 13, which is atrocious. We'll talk about that in a second, and 1 for 6 on threes. Actually, we'll talk about it right now. Do I care about him going 2 for 13 from the field? Absolutely not. Don't care. The shots will eventually fall. He had some good looks. He didn't hit them. First game jitters. It is what it is. Anybody that's going to sit up here and criticize him for going 2 of 13, you lost your mind. It's the same argument with Brandon Miller. I don't care if Brandon Miller went 5 for 403 in the summer league. The dude can still play. Brandon Miller can play, man, and anybody with 2 eyeballs can see that. The only thing with him is his shots aren't falling. But that's fine because the shots will fall. As long as he looks smooth, he looks comfortable out there, that's a good sign. For me, at least in the summer league, that's what I pay attention to. I don't care if Scoot Henderson, Brandon Miller, and Victor Wembanyama have terrible field goal percentages. Who cares? I just want to see if they look like NBA players. I just want to notice if they are driving, if they are aggressive, and all the intangibles and stuff like that. And with Brandon Miller up until this point, I thought he's looked decent. He looks the part. Brandon Miller looks like an NBA player. Well, with Victor Wembanyama, and here's what I'm really going to critique him on, is no, this dude did not look like an NBA player last night. Screw the stats. Throw him out. You see his 2 for 13? Throw it out the window. Here's what I'm about to harp on. Every single time, not once, not twice, not 3 times, every single time this dude tried driving the ball, tried backing somebody down, he's falling and fumbling over his own legs, getting ripped left and right. It was crazy. And I do think a large reason for that is because he is tall and he's lanky, but I still got to critique him for it. My thing with Victor Wembanyama is every single time he drove, the ball either got stolen, poked away, or he lost his balance. The dude couldn't even stand on his own 2 feet. And early in the game, if you watched it, He tried to bully Brandon Miller, and Brandon Miller bullied him and stole the ball. That is the down baddest of down bads, getting bullied by Brandon Miller, who's also built like a toothpick. Granted, Brandon Miller has a little bit more meat on his bones, but not much. And I'll tell you this firsthand. Watched every single one of Brandon Miller's games at Alabama, and he was a defensive liability. So that should tell you something. If Brandon Miller's clamping up Victor Wembanyama, a.k.a. the best prospect since LeBron James, do you want that information? But outside of that, the other times he tried backing down people or driving, he's falling, getting clamped up. I mean, it was just bad. I don't know another word to use outside of on offense. He looked awful. I'll get back to that in just a second. Let's talk about the defense. Let's talk about some good things because I do want to give him some credit. As far as it goes for how effective he's going to be on the defensive end, you saw it last night. That's no question. And I can't even really give him credit for it because he's 7'4". That's going to happen every single game. I don't get worked up and excited about him having 5 blocks because that's just God-given talent and ability. You can't coach 7'4". If any of us watching this video were 7'4", not only would we be in the NBA, but we also average 4 to 5 blocks per game. So am I really going to get hyped up and excited that he had some blocks and rebounds? No, I'm sorry. The one area, though, that we can critique because it does take a lot of skill set and it does show you whether he's going to be great or just a good player is offense. And on offense last night, it was abysmal. Here's the greatest perspective I can give you. When I was growing up playing AAU, y'all know this if you play AAU currently, there's always that one team that has that super tall, lanky kid. You know what I'm talking about. And you're watching him warm up and you're like, dude, that guy's so tall. He probably don't do all this stuff. He's probably crazy good. And then the game starts and you throw him the ball and he fumbles it and kicks it out of bounds. He can't even dribble with his left hand. Can't make a left-handed layup. He's just uncoordinated. You know where I'm going with this. Last night, that was Victor Wembanyama. Every single time he was trying to drive or post up, he looked uncoordinated. It's almost like he's so tall it's a disadvantage. It's almost like he's too lanky and a guy that tall shouldn't even be playing the game of basketball because it doesn't even look real. My biggest area of concern for Victor Wembanyama is I don't know if this dude's coordinated enough to play in the NBA. I don't know if he has that great a hand-eye coordination. Well, let me take that back. Not hand-eye coordination because he can dribble pretty good. Here's what I'm trying to say. He's so lanky that when he tries to cross over and drive, it's so easy to poke the ball away from him, and he almost gets too far ahead of himself where he starts losing his balance and he starts falling. If you watched him play last night, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's almost like a guy that tall shouldn't be on the perimeter. And I don't know if this was by design. I don't know if they were trying to make this the Victor Wembanyama one-on-one showcase, but why was he at the top of the three-point line during every possession? And I'm going to put 50% of the blame on the Spurs coaching staff, and I'm going to put the other 50% of the blame on Wemby. And here's what I'm talking about. The coaching staff should have put this man in a position to succeed. Notice in the first quarter, he had that early bucket. It was a turnaround in the post where he threw it up with his left hand and got the and one. He should be posting up every single play. Victor Wembanyama isn't 6'4". He's 7'4". Get your butt in the paint. He reminds me of the guy in AAU at the park, wherever you played growing up. He's the tallest dude on the court and he's shooting threes. Like, dude, if you don't get your butt in the post, like, come on, man. There is no reason for Victor Wembanyama to be shooting 6 threes per game. But whatever, I ain't mad at it. And you gotta look at this. If you are a team and you're playing a guy who's 7'4", you are living with him shooting threes, even if they're wide open. That is a win for the defense. Even if he makes some of them, who cares? Because if he was down in the post, more than likely that's a guaranteed bucket or you're going to foul him. So I'm putting 50% of the blame on the Spurs coaching staff. Y'all should have had that man posting up more. Now the other 50% of the blame is going on Wemby because of this. You are a basketball player. At a certain point in time, you got to go, okay, I got to get me some buckets. I got to get in a rhythm. And you got to screw the play. Do whatever you need to do to get a bucket. At a certain point in time, you got to go, okay, I'm 7'4", man. I'm just going to start posting up. That's what separates your great players from your good players. Even in high school, I knew this. If we're running a play, coach calls down a play, I'm dribbling up the court, and I see I got a string bean on me. I got some dude I know can't guard me. No, I'm calling an ISO, and I'm going to the bucket. So to all these people saying, well, give him a break. It's his first game in the summer league. Dude, this is basketball one-on-one. I was doing this crap in high school, and most of you watching this do this in high school. It's almost like he lacks IQ. You are 7'4". You should be posting up almost every single play. And then you got idiots saying stuff like this. He played good if you actually watch the game. People just look at points. He played great defense and got boards, which is what he's supposed to do. He'll score more next game. Dude, shut up. Shut up. If you have the balls to say, quote-unquote, he played good, you don't even know what you're talking about, and your opinion is irrelevant. He didn't play good by any stretch of the imagination, and even Victor Wembanyama would tell you that. At best, he played below average, and that's at best. What did I say a couple minutes ago? You can't count his blocks and rebounds because he's 7'4". That's just gonna happen every single game. That's a given. You gotta look at the stuff that isn't a given, and that's offense. And then let me bring this up while I'm looking at it. After the game, Victor Wembanyama says, quote unquote, I didn't really know what I was doing on the court, but I'm trying to learn. And you already know what all the Wemby fans are going to say. See, man, he just got to the United States, man, give him a break. He's learning the system, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not going to give him that excuse. Why are we giving him that excuse? Heck, Brandon Miller, he just got to the Hornet. Every rookie just got to their team and is still learning along the way. All these players on these summer league teams just started practicing and scrimmaging together a couple weeks ago. All these players are trying to learn, but we're going to give Victor Wembanyama the benefit of the doubt? What is up with all these meat riders? Because, for example, Brandon Miller in his first game went 5 for 11 and everyone's calling him a buzz. Keep that same energy with Wemby. I don't understand the fathom or the fangirlish behavior over this man. Everybody's like, yeah, give him a break, he just got there. I ain't gonna lie, I laughed when I saw this quote because that's just stupid, and let me explain why. Yet again, I'm gonna read it to you because he said this and I can't believe it. I didn't really know what I was doing on the court, but I'm trying to learn. What? You didn't know you was doing on the court? It's basketball, man. It's not math or science class. This is a simple game. You put the ball in the hoop and you defend your own hoop. And it's so funny because all these casuals that have never played a day in their life, they will try to defend him on this quote. But I want y'all to think about this. Keep that same energy. Imagine if LeBron James said, I didn't really know what I was doing on the court, but I'm trying to learn. Could y'all imagine the heat he would get for saying that? But y'all ain't ready for that argument. Look, man, the only thing I'm saying is I just want y'all to keep that same energy, because if he had had 40 points and 20 rebounds, y'all would have been saying he's the next coming of Jesus Christ or the next Michael Jordan or LeBron. I just can't get over this. What do you mean you don't know what you're doing? It's basketball, man. It's basketball. I'm starting to feel like the catcher off of The Sandlot. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Wemby. You can't drive. You can't post up. You can't shoot. And on top of that, you don't know what you're doing. And this was the guy that y'all said was the best prospect or better than LeBron James? Come on, man. And I wouldn't even be hyped up about this if he was like the 10th overall pick. I'm just pissed off that people were saying he was going to be better than LeBron James. Do y'all understand LeBron James? He looked like a man amongst boys when he first got into the NBA and in his summer league. On the contrary, Victor Wembanyama, the #1 overall pick, looked like a boy amongst men. The F you mean you didn't know what you was doing out there? How about you grow up and say, oh yeah, I just had a bad game? I ain't gonna hold y'all. This dude ain't that good. Until he can dribble in traffic without losing the ball and getting ripped, until he can back down players without stumbling and falling over his own feet, until then, I'm not admitting he's good. It's almost like he's too tall for his own good because he's so fragile, he doesn't have a game in the post, but he's not skilled enough to be on the perimeter. So where do you put this guy? And I think that's the biggest problem because Wembanyama doesn't know where to put himself, and the Spurs don't either. You can't put him in the post 24/7. He'll get eaten alive. He'll get his lunch taken like last night. I'm wishing this kid the best of luck, but do not ever, and I mean ever again, compare this kid to LeBron James, and I mean it. How old's Wemby? 19? Not even an 18-year-old. But I believe a 17-year-old LeBron James would run circles and laps around this kid. Do what you want with that information. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts down below. But